Welcome to Yesudian week 12. We're changing the format of the filming. There are some people that didn't like the black bars on the side, so now we're doing wide, but so that you don't have to see everything that's around us, it's going to be blurred. So if this is better, well, let us know, I guess. But we'll do it this way from now on, just because then you don't see those black bars. Okay. Like I said, week 12 of Yesudian yoga. We're going to start seated as always with the full yogi breathing. In for 8, hold for 8, and exhale for 8. Pranayama or breathing exercises always start with a nice exhale. So take a normal inhale, and then a full exhale. And inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And return to breathing normally. Don't forget, for the inhale, you want to inhale slowly so that it takes all 8 counts to fill. And then you hold for 8 and exhale slowly so it takes all 8 counts to squeeze every last bit of air out. If you inhale too fast, then you'll end up holding for longer if you're following these counts. You don't really want to do that. You want to
I find it very hard slowly to inhale for 8.
Most people inhale very quickly at the beginning and then they realize, oh, I've got another 4 or 5 counts to fill the rest, and they slow down. Just start slow and peaceful. So there, it took 8 counts to get full. Yeah, it's things that we work on. It's not perfect from day 1. That's okay. And it may not even be perfect by week 12. Next pranayama is standing. We're going to do this a total of 3 times. Each set is going to be of 5. Step forward, we're going to be swinging our arms. The inhale, we hold our arms horizontal. And then as we hold our breath, we just swing our arms vigorously back and forth 5 times. And then exhale the arms down. And then we repeat. So I will do it with everybody since I don't have to count here.
Okay.
So inhale, hold and swing. Exhale. Make sure you don't get lightheaded. Inhale. Hold and swing. Exhale. Inhale. Hold and swing. Exhale. Again. Inhale. Exhale. I'm going to do one more time. Inhale. Exhale. And come back to breathing normally. Book said 3 times, we did it 5 times. That's okay. The next one, as we inhale, the last time we did this because I had stuffed nose, I had to do it through my mouth, but try to do it through your nose. We're going to inhale with short sniffs, and each one should be the same length until you're completely full. And then exhale after a hold of 8. And we're going to do that again 3 times. So start on empty as always, so normal inhale, normal exhale till everything's out. And then without taking a huge breath for the first one, short sniffs to fill. Hold. Exhale. Again, if you get lightheaded, sit down, take a rest. And again, empty completely. Inhale. Exhale. All the way out. Inhale. Exhale. Do this one 5 times as well. Exhale all the way. Inhale. Exhale. All the way out. And inhale. Exhale. And come back to seated. Bastrika, bellows breath. We've done this before too. Again, last time I think I had to do it through my mouth because my nose was stuffed. Right now it's not. So we're going to do rapid inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. See if you can count to 10. It's hard. Sometimes we go too fast. But make sure that you can count how many times you're going in and out. And after 10, stop. Breathe normally. Take a rest. And then we're going to do it again. A total of 3 times. So as with all pranayama, you're going to start with the exhale. So take a normal inhale. And then the exhale, in this case, has to start. Normal exhale. Normal inhale. Normal exhale. Last time, inhale. Normal exhale. Good. So what we're doing here is we're doing, in essence, 2 things. We are We are bringing into voluntary control things that are normally involuntary, breathing. The way that we react as we get oxygen and as we don't. So when we hold our breath, we start to panic, but as we get used to that feeling, then we expand our lungs and we start to bring in more oxygen, more air. So it makes our lungs more healthy. It evens out the parasympathetic and the sympathetic systems because you're bringing under conscious control things that normally aren't. Next is supta vajrasana. That's why in the preamble or in the written bit, I said if you had something like a large bolster or a whole bunch of pillows, you might find it useful. If you're very flexible, you may not need it. So here a minute, that one you can use. I will use this one. So there are many versions of this. We're going to work through all of them. The first version is you squat on your knees. You're sitting on your ankles. The tops of your feet are flat on the floor. And this might be plenty enough. If you're feeling it in your knees, if you're feeling it in your ankles, then you may not want to go any farther. If your ankles are okay and there's a little bit of discomfort in your knees, you can always put something in between your buttocks and your shins to lift yourself up a little bit so you're not feeling the pain in your knees. Well, you should never feel pain in your knees, especially during yoga. Well, especially during anything, but pain in knees is normally a bad sign. And then you're going to lean back and lift your hips up gently to get a stretch of the front of the thighs. So this is version 1. We're going to hang out here a bit. Even if you're flexible, it's not a bad idea to start with version 1, just to warm things up. And then to get a little bit lower, you can spread your hands, lean back a little bit farther, shift your hips so you're comfortable. So right now I'm actually lifting my hips slightly off my ankles. That gives me more of a stretch in my thighs, but I'm also tipping my hip bones so that they stay in line with my thighs and with my back, rather than just being pulled forward, and that just crunches your lower back. So you want your hip bones actually to be lined up with your back. Drop your hips, come forward. So that's version 1. That might be enough. Version 2 requires the bolster. And if one bolster isn't enough, you can always use 2 or 3 bolsters. But if you do use bolsters, your ankles are going to go to either side of the bolster. Your knees are going to have to be wider apart because you want your thighs to be parallel, and you're going to have to sit on the end of the bolster. If you sit on the ground, or if you sit on your ankles in this version and then lean back, what you're going to do is that your upper back is going to be on the bolster, whereas your lower back and your hips are going to be lower down. You're going to get a very steep arch in your lower back, and you don't want that. So your hips have to be on the bolster for this version. And then you're going to lean back. Again, slowly. And your knees might pop off the ground like they did for me. Then I grab my ankles and slowly work my knees back closer to the floor. But I'm lying on the bolster now. Getting more of a stretch in my toes and my ankles, and quite a pronounced stretch in my quads. Again, I'm engaging my core so that my hip bones are not being pulled up by tight thighs, but rather are trying to come in line with my lower back. And then to release, push your weight back up with as much grace as you can muster, and rest. So, back in my younger days, I could stick my heels together, sit on my heels, and lie down flat onto the ground. Those days seem to be gone. Maybe I'll get back to there by doing this more frequently, but can you demonstrate version 3 where you're fully on the ground?
Without the
bolster, yeah.
I don't know.
So Monica's sitting on her ankles.
Find out if I'm going to
and then she leans back.
Sit on my ankles.
Yep. And then she leans back until her shoulders. There you go.
Not real comfortable, but
it's not terribly comfortable. The top of her head is on the ground. Her shoulders are not yet, and her back is not yet on the ground. But with time, that will happen. But this is quite the stretch for the front of the thighs. So you can do it like that, or you can pick up the bolster. Again, I don't mean to make you be the guinea pig for the whole thing. Do I want to try it?
Sure.
Sure, why not? I can embarrass herself, but I might embarrass myself.
Try it, and you should try it.
So I've got my knees together. I'm sitting on my heels.
I think that was my problem too. My knees weren't together.
And then I'm going to slowly, oh, I can sense it already. All right. Going back. Grabbing onto my feet so I can push my knees to the floor, drop my head, and bring my head to the ground. So here I've really got to engage my core so that my hips stay in line with my back. My knees are floating a little bit, but it's not bad. And my thighs are getting one heck of a stretch. Holding myself on my elbows and the top of my head. I only have one head, so I don't have tops of my head. And then again, as much grace and noises as possible to come back up. So we're going to be doing this a couple more times, but not on video. We're going to be doing this a couple more times, not on video. This is a good exercise. It's a good stretch. All right. After this, we're going to do something a little bit different, Shalabhasana, which is locust pose. We'll come lying on our belly. Make fists out of your hands, stick them underneath your thighs. Your chin rests on the ground. Try to rock side to side so that you're on your arms and not on your chest. And then pushing your hands into the ground, engaging your entire back from the back of your neck down to your ankles. You lift your legs as straight as they can be. Hold for a couple of breaths. Put them down. And set up again. Do it again. Back down. This is when I'm regretting wearing a sweater. I wanted to say, hey, look, you can do yoga even in a sweater. It's not that active. It is. And one last time. Good fists. Push strongly to the ground with your arms. Lift everything up. And down. And rest. So that pose is exercise for the arms, for the entire back of the body, especially the muscles of the lower back and the spine. Stimulates the internal organs, moves them around a little bit because of the pressure, gets the blood flowing there too. Next exercise is also meant to get the blood flowing a little bit in our insides. So we're going to come do this one in standing, Uddiyana Bandha. We've done this before. Remember, deep inhale, hands on knees, and exhale till nothing is left. And I can talk because Menik is going to do it. So exhale until absolutely nothing is left. And then you want to hold your breath, but you want to then relax. And what you'll notice is that the diaphragm flies upwards, which is what Uddiyana means. Uddiyana Bandha. And so when you do that, your lungs actually, your ribs expand and the diaphragm gets pulled up because there's a vacuum in your lungs. And you hold that for as long as is comfortable. And then you inhale. Stand up, rest for a moment. And we do it again. This time, we're going to do what's called Nauli. It's the exact same thing, only in, this is optional, in Nauli, you're going to then push one hand so that you engage the muscles on one side of the stomach, and then you're going to push the other hand, engage the muscles on the other side. What happens is that this band of muscle that you've activated by Uddiyana Bandha slides back and forth. And it massages the internal organs, gets blood going, gets the bile moving, just gets things flowing, especially when you hit my age, that don't flow as much because you're not, climbing trees, running, chasing, chasing butterflies. I did that as kids, didn't we all? All right, inhale, deep exhale. And after that, Uddiyana Bandha. Be careful not to hold that for too long. It can lead to feelings of panic because you're not inhaling, you're straining, you're standing. So do it for only as long as is comfortable. And the moment you feel any kind of strain, you've actually gone a little bit too far. So the next time, do it for a little bit less time. And the last time, inhale, exhale. And then we get a bandha. So did you feel that back and forth motion? Is it working?
I was using my hands. I didn't feel it. No, I didn't understand really.
All right. Well, that's not the last time that we're going to do it.
Okay.
You can always replay the video and watch as many times as you want.
You could just redo it with me too.
Yes, I can redo it with you too. All right. Next one is Shirshasana, or headstand. As explained many a time, I no longer do exercises where I have to bring my heart up over my head very much. It's not really necessary, it's not critical that you do the full headstand. And in fact, most people that I see doing headstand are doing it completely incorrectly, and it's because they don't have the openness in the armpit area. They end up doing not a headstand, nice vertical, but they do a banana, where their hips are forward, and then to counter that, they bring the feet back. That's not a very useful headstand. That puts a lot of strain on the front of the neck, puts weird strain on the shoulders, and so why do it? When this kind of a headstand, like you're seeing here with Minik, crown of the head is on the ground, interlace the fingers, push the back of the head into the back of the hand, or into the palm of the hands, and then you can come up on your toes if you like, and then that's it. Push your elbows into the ground. Feel the pressure on the top of the head. So you've got that pressure on that chakra point, which is pretty well the goal of this exercise, of this asana. Keep your shoulders wide, lots of space between your shoulders and your ears. Don't crowd it. Come down to your knees, child's pose. You don't have to come up onto your toes. You can also do it on your knees. That's perfectly acceptable. There's nothing wrong with that. So again, a little bit less pressure on the top of the head. It's also less pressure on your neck. And you may find that a more comfortable and a safer option. So after a brief rest, I'm going to do it again. Interlace fingers, back of the head into the palms. Elbows pushing into the floor, separate your shoulders, broaden your neck, come up onto your toes if you so choose. Come back down. So in this form of supported headstand, if you were up completely, they would say that it should be 1/3 pressure on one elbow, 1/3 on the other elbow, and the other third on the head. So that's why you really want to be pushing into the floor with your elbows to alleviate some of the pressure on your head. You don't want to have all of your weight, in this case, on your feet and on your head, and your elbows are there just for show. They're pushing into the ground actively. Last time, interlace fingers, put head in place. Top of the head is on the ground, not the forehead, not the crown, but really the very top of the head. And come up. Down, slide to child's pose if you like, and rest there to even out the pressure in your head and in your body. So the next two are meditation for 10 minutes and then Shavasana or corpse pose for 10 minutes. Hopefully you're working your way up to 10 minutes if you're not at 10 minutes already. And that's it for week 12, and we'll see you again next week. Namaste. Thanks for joining us. And let us know what you think of the lack of black bars and the fuzziness. Just, you don't need to see everything that we've got beside us. That's why it's fuzzy. All right. Bye.